Yo, chill computer guy. Today we're in Reason 9.5. Here's an issue. Now I found this issue with a couple VST rack extension makers. What do? Right here we have the Legend, Synapse Audio. Now they have a rack extension for the Legend, and that's great. It's a great sounding rack extension, but they also have a VST. Now these two are exactly the same. And I put the exact same patch in, multiple patches into these, and I can tell you that they honestly sound exactly the same. But VSTs in Reason is great. But here's the issue. Which one of these do you buy? Do you buy the VST or do you buy the rack extension? Because the rack extension is going to incorporate into Reason. It's going to, you can flip this thing around, you can route it, but you're stuck with this size. That's the size this is. Now this is the VST version. Now this version has multiple sizes. This actually is the smallest size. This is as small as it goes, and it's already bigger than the rack extension. So this can go up to medium. It can go up to large. It can really, you can get some obnoxiousness going on with this. But the fact is, you can't really route this like you can this one. You can route it through your VST panel here. You can flip this thing around and get all crazy on that, and route it that way. And route your modulation that way through this user interface type thing here. But to me, this isn't quite as I really like the rack extension is what I'm getting at. But the problem is with buying the rack extension is you can't use it in any other DAW. And so you're stuck in Reason. Now there's a few differences. If you flip the rack around, you can see all the effects and whatnot are on the back. Again, they're very, very tiny. The VST version has this little icon here which flips it around, and then you have your effects there on the back. So this is kind of interesting because this is actually a VST that has a back of the rack feel to it, which is kind of interesting. My big thing is, which one of these do you buy? Because you can't get them both. This is a $99 rack extension, and this is a really great rack extension. The reason I'm even doing this video is because these are both demo versions. Both 30-day demo versions, and I love them both, but I'm really struggling. I may not buy either one, but if I were to buy one, which one would I buy? Because I really like how the rack extension version incorporates into the Reason environment, but it's Reason exclusive. So the VST definitely has the advantage there. It's got the clumsy incorporation. So what do you do? What do you do? Leave in a comment below which one of these should you buy. Now this isn't the only rack extension / VST, but like I say, both these are exactly the same. Here's the glass pad. Now I've read up on these, and both of these have the same amount of presets. They both have all the same functionality. So there comes the conflict. Which one of these do you buy? Now if you're just a Reason user, I highly would encourage the rack extension, but the rack extension version does have some negatives. The negatives being that this GUI is stuck this size. You can't make it bigger. And another issue is you can't use this in any other DAW. The positives are it incorporates nicely into the rack, it's part of the Reason environment, and that's really great. The VST, on the other hand, the advantages are, well, you can use it in any of the other DAWs. You have options to increase or decrease the GUI size. But the negatives are, it doesn't really, in my opinion, incorporate into the Reason environment nearly as well as the rack extension. So now there's other rack extension / VSTs that have this same problem. Spire being one of them. Spire's the same issue. You have a VST version and you also have a rack extension version. So there's a few rack extensions in the Propellerhead web shop that also have a VST version, and my big question is, which one do you buy? Because you can't really buy them both. I guess you can, but that's twice the amount of money. These rack extensions, these VSTs, aren't cheap. This particular setup, both of these are the exact same price, so you're not really saving any money one way or the other. But another huge advantage you do have with the rack extension version is you can incorporate the browser. You can click this button, your browser opens up, you can organize your patches, very nice. With the VST version, the patch browser is a separate thing, so it's not nearly as integrated or convenient. So anyway, leave your comment below. Let me know your thoughts. Do you get the rack extension version that incorporates into Reason but is limited on the size of the GUI and the fact that you can't use it in other DAWs? Or do you get the VST version, which you can use in any of the other DAWs but doesn't incorporate as well into the Reason environment? Anyway, leave your opinion below, subscribe to the channel, comment, keep up to date, tell a friend about the channel, give a thumbs up, comment below, and we'll see you guys again.